Hey, if you're on, say hello. Don't just watch, talk to me. Hey, AM Lock, EM Lock. Thanks for the follow. It's always appreciated. Please be sure to say hi. I am literally just on right now on Thingiverse, trying to figure out what my next project for my 3D printer will be. Oh, that's pretty cool. There is a Ryobi, like, carrying case for multiple batteries, but it looks like a little bit too much work for me. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to building stuff. Something's got to be good on here. I like looking at the newest stuff. Hey, thanks for the follow. Hey, hi. How are you guys doing tonight? If you've ever looked on Thingiverse, there are some of the weirdest creations. Like, I want to know what people were thinking when they came up with some of these ideas. Now, I mean, some of it's kind of cool. Like, you've got like stuff for like chemistry or biology or whatever that people could use in their offices and stuff, and they just make it open source for other people. But then there's like just weird junk on here that doesn't make any sense, but it makes me want to use it anyway. Favorite games? That is tough. Okay, so recently, I've been playing more Among Us just because it seems like there's been a good amount of interest, and I like interacting with people. Plus, my kid likes playing it, so if I'm down here streaming or if I'm working, I can play it off to the side, and he can play it on a Switch, and my wife can play as well. If it's just like lose my mind and just go crazy doing something, I've been playing a lot of Grounded. I haven't really been streaming a lot of it. So I like Grounded. I dabble in Minecraft. I've been off and on playing Minecraft for a long time. But if I'm gonna play something, I haven't set up for Twitch streaming or anything, but I like playing some of the older Star Wars games like Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Academy. I like the Force Unleashed games. I like something that I can really get into, and I think the last game I really just spent my entire life until I completed it was the PS4's Marvel Spider-Man game. Really like that game. Of course, I have not played the Miles Morales version yet. One, because I've been debating about whether or not I want to get a PS5. And I know there's a PS4 version out there, but I was an early adopter of the PS4, and I was a bit disappointed. And when I had the chance, I actually traded it out for an Xbox One, which I thought was probably the best decision I ever made. I liked the PS3 because it was basically like a giant streaming box that did everything. And I felt like the PS4 just, they went for performance, but they didn't really go for, doing anything like the PS3, which I thought was a bummer. I mean, I even stuck out with the PS3 when we were like months without the PlayStation Network because, all of our accounts got hacked and the system went down. And then I converted over to Xbox One when they were still using the Kinect camera and you could do hand gestures and stuff. I really liked that. And so I did, let's see. I don't exactly know. Let me see something here. I know a little bit of Spanish, but I do not know a lot of Spanish. Well, I'm sorry. Pero me gusta. Ah, muchas gracias. Let's see here. Well, I appreciate that. I kind of forgot where I was going from there. But actually, you know what? I probably can do. This is going to be crazy, but let's see.
I wish I knew more Spanish to.
That doesn't work. I was hoping I could actually do text to speech. Oh well. Yeah, so I was really the earlier adopter of the Xbox with the Kinect, and when they got rid of it, I was bummed out, but it was still a little bit less complicated to do things. I think the X-Cross media bar was great for the PS3, but I don't think it was really well executed with the PS4. And the only thing that I hate about the Xbox One is something that I loved with the PS3. When you put a Blu-ray disc in the PS3, it would actually show an image of the movie. I'm a big movie fan. I've got thousands of Blu-rays and DVDs and Laserdiscs and VHSs and all that kind of stuff. And I love putting the disc in. I thought it was a great added that you put the disc in and you can see the image. Xbox just doesn't really execute that well. But it's not bad. And I've got a 1 and I have a 1S that I'm actually going to give one of them to my cousin. But yeah, I just really haven't felt like the urge to convert over to after building a PC especially. So I really don't play a lot of console games much anymore. So I'm debating about getting at least Miles Morales on PS4. Literally, my PS4 just collects dust in the bedroom. But yeah, I like Grounded. I like Minecraft a bit. Let's see, what else do I like? I have a bunch of games downloaded. There's a lot of games I want to play, but I don't have the money to buy them at the moment. Even cheap stuff. But right now, probably if I obsess over anything, let's see. I'm gonna press over English. Your stream helps me. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate that, and I hope that you can. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. The follow is definitely appreciated. The hustle is real. Yeah, but I've got an Oculus Quest, the VR headset, and I am in love with that thing. It's been a lot of fun. I probably end up spending way too much time on Rec Room, on my Oculus Quest, and literally doing nothing else other than playing paintball and laser tag. I just like kind of like first person shooter games, and with the VR it's kind of cool. Hey, let's see here. It's was it Valeria? Valeria. Okay, cool. Thank you. Hello. So I definitely like that. I also end up playing a lot of Echo VR, which is kind of like a mix between American football and like frisbee golf. The best way I can describe it is if you've ever seen Ender's Game, the movie, or if you read the book, that's what I think of with the arena. You're basically in zero gravity, so you're just floating around everywhere, and you've got this disc that you have to get down the way and throw it through the goal, and in the process you can like grab a hold of people, use them to launch yourself off, and you can punch them in the head and stun them. But if they like put their guards up, then you get stunned in the process. It's a lot of fun. But I do like the laser tag. I'm kind of like a camper when it comes to playing on the laser tag, because I like their it's kind of like a sniper rifle, but it's only a 3-shot rifle, so you can shoot 3 times then reload. And I think one of the things that's really hard for a person who's normally played like computer or console games, especially things like Call of Duty or whatever, is to realize that you actually have to, grab the bolt and pull it back, or pull the magazine to actually reload the game or reload the gun. It's kind of why I like paintball sometimes more than laser tag, because I can just keep shooting and it's fine. And Rec Room is fun for that. There are other things to do, and you can like meet up with people. I have family members that are on Rec Room, and so every so often when life isn't too busy, we'll jump on and we'll just play with each other, and it is a lot of fun. It's nice because we don't have to, especially with everything that's been going on with the pandemic, that we can actually just sit down, virtually and like engage. But yeah, I definitely like the Oculus Quest. I have the Quest 2, and then my kid's birthday's coming up, so he's gonna be getting one as well. So he doesn't know about it yet, and we're gonna do like a scavenger hunt on his birthday so he can find it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said before, I'm just kind of looking through Thingiverse right now. I have a 3D printer that I got at Christmas time, and I am trying to figure out what I want to do next. I did this the other day. This took about a week to build. It's not done yet. I want to do some more sanding to make it a little bit more, uniform, and then I'm going to put leather on the handle to give that leather consistency, so it's not all silver. But this sucker has pretty good weight. I did not do so when you do a 3D print, you can actually decide how much is plastic. And so like if you're doing something big like this, it'll do it'll do the outside solid, and then the inside is like a honeycomb pattern, and typically you do like a 15%. So this is slightly hollow, but it's pretty firm and strong, and it was in 2 parts, so it's got some weight to it. But then I did this, and this came in like it's different parts. So this is there's one part here, and then there's another part here, and then another part here, another part here, and they kind of fit into each other, and then they slide into the hammerhead. And I did this first with a really, really hollow one. Let me grab it real quick. Yeah, I love Thor too. So this was the original handle for it. And it was at a 15% infill. So I don't know if I can do it if you can hear like there's like crackling, it's because there we go. See, it broke, and then you can actually see better. It's just like a honeycomb. Oh, well, maybe not. Let's see. There you go. You see that honeycomb? So it's hollow inside. And I had put it together, and I was putting the hammer head on, and the head was strong, but every time I would go like this with a hammer, and of course, I'm not using this because I don't think I'm going to become Thor one day, but I want to be able to at least let people have it and they can go like this. Like, I'm not worried about going like this right now. And so I just felt like this is just too, yeah, see, it just breaks. So, let me get that back. Okay. So I decided this was just not going to work. And I could just foresee my kids swinging this, and then that would happen. And so I went back and I did this at 100% fill, and this handle literally took like almost 2 spools to create. But there's no give on this sucker. It's pretty strong. So, do I have a big collection of Marvel? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I am an artist. I do digital and spray paint art, and so I've been to conventions. I am well, you can't really see here. Let me see if I can pull up if I can share my phone with you guys on here, because I have Streamlabs, and I think I can add let's see. So, okay, so what you can't see right now, I have a limited edition Thor Ragnarok poster on my wall that was created by an artist, Tracy Ching. It was actually one of the proofs that Marvel had to approve of after she did the printing, and it was done by Silkscreen. I literally have almost every Marvel Studios poster, including a poster of for WandaVision on Disney Plus. I also have a copy of a license plate that was used in the TV show Daredevil. That it literally says Stan Lee. My mouse pad is Marvel. I have, if you can see behind me, I have display cases full of Marvel stuff. And let me just kind of zoom in a little bit for you. So I collect 6 scale figures and some statues. And if you look right there, that Captain America shield, that is actually a vinyl record that I had spray painted as the Captain America shield. And I went and got Stan Lee to sign it and gave him one. And it was really cool because he got all excited and stopped everybody from doing the autographs. And yep, I got to have a few moments talking with Stan Lee about my art. So that was pretty cool. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. I do show my my collection a bit on TikTok. I'm actually going to do like a review. If you look for it, this is not the YouTube channel that I have listed below, but if you look for Physical Media Fan on YouTube, I did a walkthrough video of my basement from last year. Some things have changed and I've upgraded and done some work on stuff, but you can definitely see my oh, you like the reaction stream. Thank you. I really appreciate that you like that. You know, I try to do like these like preludes, like going through the episodes, getting up to episode 4 or 5, and I didn't know how that was gonna work. And then I did a reaction video. The week before, that was what, episode 5. We were at episode 6, and 20 minutes into it, someone got on the stream and said, "Your audio's turned off." I had literally muted my microphone for the entire stream, and then I said, "Okay, let me go ahead. I'm gonna cut out, come back, and I'll do it again." So I redid the stream, and I spent 30 more minutes talking about it, and then I went to go delete the non-audio version off of my Twitch stream, and I ended up deleting both of them. So I just gave up. That's why if you look, there's nothing on. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I have nothing for episode 5. I gave up even trying, and I figured I'll just start over with 6. And it was great, and a lot of people are talking about stuff after the fact. So the more people that talk about this, and I think this is Disney's like ultimate plan, is it's like what were you obsessing about in the last year? Were you obsessing about Trump being framed or it's a fake election, or did you obsess about WandaVision and what all the commercials meant? But it's a lot of fun. So the comments that were on there was like that the octagon, the hexagon doesn't really mean aim or anything like that. It's actually the reality stone. That the adults that are the people that are in the commercials, like that man and woman that are in almost every commercial, that's Wanda and Pietro's mom and dad. I honestly try to stream every single day. I had to take a couple days off because one, I was trying to fix my desk up, and the other day I just wasn't feeling well. But I'm trying to be on at least a little bit every single day just to do whatever. Wednesday I'm gonna start doing Grounded again, and I'll start playing that and talking. Mondays it's kind of my my Among Us day, and I ended up kind of being Monday and Tuesday of last week. Friday mornings, every single time WandaVision hits, I'm going to be on here doing my reaction. My wife says she wants to get on here with me when we do it, but she has yet to wake up and watch the episode with me. I just stay up. I don't normally go to bed until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so that's just my life. My regular job is not even a day job; it's an afternoon job. I work from 2:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. So again, that's why I'm on late. But yeah, I try to be on every day. So please, I'd love to see you on here. But with the WandaVision, if you've seen WandaVision, the other thing was people were trying to say that the shark in the commercial, this last one for Yo Magic, was Mephisto, and it's like a deal with the devil. But I also heard someone say that it's not actually, it's not Mephisto necessarily, but it's actually focusing on Pietro, because at one point he says, "Here you go, little dude." How can you donate me bits? I think you just go up to the top of the screen and are you on with me through Twitch, or are you on through Streamlabs? Let's see here. If you're in Twitch, I think you can do it as long as it says, it should be on the top right hand corner, and when you log in it says get bits, and then I think you can drop them from there. Let me just check my page real quick. Let's check my page real quick. Mute myself. Okay, so I think let's see here. So, let's see. I'm just gonna play around with this real quick. See if I can't figure it out, because I thought it was already set up. Okay. I'm still so new to all this. Hold on a second. Donate bits on Twitch. Okay, so if you want to donate bits, you type cheer, followed by the number of bits you want to donate. So, like, if you want to donate like 100 bits, this is your example. You type in cheer 100, and that donates the bits. I just figured that out. Yep. And no space. It seems like it has to be cheer 100 like together. I think there's no quotation on it. And then a timer of 5 seconds will start. You can check the figure you have typed. After 5 seconds, the bits will be donated to the streamer. That's how they do it. Huh. I did not know that. So, but yeah, I enjoyed doing the WandaVision. It was a lot of fun. I like doing that kind of stuff, and I think with Marvel movies and shows and stuff like that, I'll try to do them as much as I can. I don't know how I feel about what happens with the theaters and whatnot. I typically wasn't one of the people. I didn't really go to theaters. I usually waited for everything to hit, so like my reactions for movies would probably be extremely delayed. But if they start doing everything like streaming and stuff. Which, honestly, a number of years ago, the guy who did Napster had an idea for a thing called Screening Room. And what's my favorite movie of Marvel? Okay, so how do you define a favorite movie? Is it the movie you could sit and watch every single time? Because there's a big chunk of Marvel movies that I could literally just sit down and watch over and over again. So let's see. If I would have to choose my favorite movie, yeah, I'm just gonna go to my go-to. My favorite movie. This is the movie that I can literally just sit down and watch over and over again. Now, it doesn't contain my favorite characters, but it happens to be probably the movie I'll watch more than any of the others. Is the Guardians of the Galaxy. I have lots of respect for James Gunn. I do love the dynamic of the team. It was definitely off of the normal like recipe for Marvel Studios movies, which I think is what I liked about it. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And when James Gunn got fired because of the alt-right person that was like dredging up, Twitter like things from like years ago. I was on Twitter with a group of people, and we had a whole rehire James Gunn thing, and we donated to a billboard outside of Burbank to get the point across. But even though that was a terrible event that happened where he just got fired for something he had apologized for years ago, I love the fact that he's able to do the Suicide Squad movie, and he's going to be able to do DC and Marvel, because I feel like when you get a good director that can kind of read the room and figure out what works for people, that it's really important that they be able to make as many movies as they can without being restricted. Oh yeah. I've got I have a life-size baby Groot. I have the entire Guardians team in 6-scale figures, with the exception of Yondu, which drives me crazy. Thank you. So I am running on Streamlabs OBS, and there is a app on here called, it looks like Pretzel Catalog. And I'm literally running the station. It's called Chiptune. It's Chiptune and retro video game tunes. And so it's completely royalty free, so I don't have to worry about getting in trouble for that. And yeah, it's kind of just fun music. Oh, you're talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. Forget everything I just said. Yes. And I like that James Gunn picks out his the soundtracks for his movies. And I can't wait to see what he picks out for Volume 3 as well. And when they did Avengers Infinity War, with Rubber Band Man, they actually consulted James Gunn for that. In fact, he was kind of like he's like the go-to person to confirm anything that that the Guardians of the Galaxy does with Marvel. Which I'm looking forward to Volume 3, but I'm not looking forward to Volume 3 because I've already been told that the actors have said that they've read the draft and they've cried during it. And James Gunn has a history of killing people, so I don't know who I would be okay with on the Guardians of the Galaxy team dying. It's kind of funny because he's one of my favorite characters on there. I love Chris Pratt. I like Star-Lord with Peter Quill, but he's probably I can't lose Nebula. I'm too invested in Nebula. Now that she built friendships outside of the Guardians team, and I think that there's going to be an interesting dynamic because I think Nebula is going to add something to the Guardians team that she didn't add before, because after 5 years of them all being gone, she's more humanized. And I think that was very well depicted in Endgame when Gamora immediately trusted her. Because Gamora could tell immediately that there was something different with Nebula. And she's just an awesome character. And I think that whole Tony Stark interaction at the beginning of the movie, where she won and he was a good sport about it, I think that was a big character development with him, with her. And the fact that for 5 years she's been working with the Avengers, with Rocket, to help the universe, I think that's a big deal. And then just seeing what happens coming back into this. And then Groot can always come back. So I guess if we lose Groot, then that's okay, because then we get a different Groot. But I can't. Hey, thanks for the follow. I cannot imagine losing Rocket. Rocket is probably by far one of my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy. But I looked it up and stuff. The raccoons don't really have a good, long lifespan. So, what are your theories about what happens in WandaVision? I have a lot of theories about that. So, with WandaVision, I think that we are going to get Mephisto. I hope they do go a bit close to the Mephisto storyline. So we've got Tommy and we've got Billy. In essence, we've got Wiccan and Speed. That's their character names, and of course they immediately appeared to have the powers. We have not really seen what Wiccan can do, but Wiccan can do what his mama can do. So we've got Wiccan and Speed, and they cannot be made by Vision. Vision can't have real kids, and I wonder if that's not even they're not synthezoids. They obviously Vision cannot reproduce, and so that's not even been brought up to question yet. But in the comic books, Mephisto, shards of his soul is actually used to create those two kids, and he claims them back and ends up killing them. And that's when Wanda really goes crazy, because she starts to basically manifest these children in her reality. So whenever she walks out of the room, they disappear. When she walks back in, they're back. So they exist only in her perception. And so Agatha Harkness, or what we see as Agnes on the show, she wipes Wanda's memory to forget her children. And later on, Wanda ends up killing Agatha Harkness because of it. But she also creates this entire reality where mutants control the world and Magneto is king of everything. And of course, no one's happy, and so they all go to stop her. And she ends the mutant line. Like, she stops people from mutating from the X gene. And I would love for it to kind of be that, with her causing the X gene. Kind of like when we know that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show, was like Marvel adjacent, but it wasn't actual Marvel Studios. So hey, thanks for the follow. So the whole Terrigen thing hasn't really happened. We know the Inhuman show really bombed, and there's so many reasons why. I could go into that. But what was interesting was, since there's no Terrigenesis stuff, imagine the events of Westview end up, causing this repercussion. Just like, and I almost thought like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame were already going to cause mutants, because they specifically said that there was a high amount of cosmic energy at the beginning of Endgame when they were searching for Thanos, because he snapped, and it caused this cosmic energy to go out with the use of the stones, and it had happened a second time on this other planet. That cosmic energy could have started causing people to mutate their X genes. What I think is happening is, I think that Hayward, director Hayward, is our big bad. I think we're going to find out Wanda is not as crazy as she seems, but she is suppressing some things, or she's being forced to suppress some things. I believe that SWORD actually created Westview. I don't think it's completely her, because when she takes control of Westview, she immediately changes the field red, and then it becomes impenetrable. But because I think she controls it, and then she expands it. I almost have this thing. I saw something on I think it was on TikTok, where there is a time where Ultron has posed as a human being to manipulate to try to wreak revenge on the mutants and on superheroes. And it would be interesting if Trevor Hayward was a version of Ultron, because if you go to Spider-Man Homecoming, when he's in the damage control warehouse, while he's trapped in the vehicle, he goes through, the Ultron eyes were red, which when they're red, it means he's activated. So just a thought there. Favorite Spider-Man movie. Okay. As much as I love the Tom Holland movies, and I love what they're doing with Spider-Man, my favorite Spider-Man movie has got to be Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2, with Tobey Maguire. Not necessarily because I like Tobey Maguire, but because I felt like it was a better iteration. I loved the Alfred Molina Doc Ock. I liked how there was that bit of like back and forth with MJ, where he's struggling with where, keeping her back, or wherever else, and of course the stress ends up causing him to lose his powers. I've never really liked, in the Sam Raimi, I've never liked the natural spinners, which if they ever do mix the hey, you follow me on TikTok, that's awesome, I appreciate it. But if they ever get like Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland together and discuss like I could see Andrew Garfield, and I could see Tom Holland's Peter Parker's like talking about like different tips on how to do different things with their web shooters, and then all of a sudden Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker's like, yeah, well, mine are built in, and then both like freaking out because of how gross it is. That's my thought. But I loved Spider-Man 2. I thought there was a lot of great like comic book like throws, like the semantics. I loved what Sam Raimi did with Spider-Man. And I thought for a Marvel movie, like, we got good Marvel movies with the X-Men, except for the fact that I believe that Bryan Singer took the X-Men, made them what he wanted. It was basically like he went into your toy box, took all your favorite characters, and then did whatever he wanted with them. The first movie was good. I did like the second X-Men movie, but then Last Stand was atrocious. And of course, Bryan Singer wasn't a part of that, and of course, Bryan Singer's got issues. But yeah, it's interesting. And then let me get back. Okay, so Sam Raimi Spider-Man was I think the first time that we actually got this idea that you can make a comic book movie slightly true to the comic book movie, and it would be a good comic book movie. Now, understandably, the teenagers look like college students throughout the whole movie. They're like the oldest looking teenagers you can tell. But it was cool. It worked. I loved the whole thing with Randy Savage as Bonesaw, and actually going back to the wrestling origin. I was okay with the Andrew Garfield one, where he's off running around and Uncle Ben gets killed looking for him after he doesn't stop the robber from the convenience store. But it's okay. But I loved Spider-Man 2. And I really liked how it's never mentioned. It's never mentioned in Spider-Man 2, but you pretty much get the idea that Aunt May knows that he's Spider-Man, and like she's the reason why he gets a pep talk to go back to being Spider-Man. But her sass with him when he's in the costume during the bank robbery scene was just so much fun. The only problem I ever had with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies were the Spider-Man villain always seemed to die. Like, you didn't just not get them. Like, they didn't just like go somewhere else. Like I thought that the Amazing Spider-Man series had potential because the villains didn't die. And so you had Lizard in containment and someone goes to visit him. And then you've got, his buddy becomes the Green Goblin, and he gets diffused. And you had the Gwen Stacy dynamic where she ends up dying. And I thought my wife literally cried during that scene. But let's face it, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Electro was like, I'll be interested to see. So Spider-Man 3, the one that's coming out, either if it's Homecoming or Homeworlds or whatever they're going to call it, it's going to have that O with the Spider-Man logo in it. They're calling for Alfred Molina to come back, and we're hoping he's Doc Ock. And then Jamie Foxx has already announced him coming back as Electro, and I'm really hoping they do this better. But I like the cat. I like the emojis. That's awesome. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Spider-Man movies and stuff. I really thought, let's see here. Yeah, I do love the WandaVision series. So my mom is in her 60s, and we've got her sitting down with us and watching them every like Friday night, Saturday night. And because I watch them first thing, and then everybody else gets to watch it with me later. That way I'm not so obsessive, because I'd literally be stopping the video and trying to analyze stuff. And the first 2 episodes, she's like, "What am I watching? Is this part of?" And she's like, "Is this part of the real world?" And for a while, I'm like, "It's a TV show from Marvel." And she's like, "No, is this part of the real world of Marvel?" And I'm like, "Okay, you mean like the movies?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I don't understand what I'm watching. What is this, like a spin-off, or is this like a joke from the?" I'm like, "Listen, something's going on." And then when she got to episode 4, she's like, "Oh. So we've not just been watching these weird movies that have been doing throwbacks to the different series." I'm like, "Well, we have. We have been watching TV shows that have been throwbacks to those generations, but there's been a purpose behind it." And then like trying to explain to her what the commercials meant, and because she refuses to watch all the Marvel movies, so nobody's perfect. But she's definitely getting into it. They watched. I didn't get to finish watching episode 6 with them because I had to go back to work, and so I left them with it. So I didn't get her reaction for it this week. I'm gonna turn my. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. Do I know how to say a word in Spanish? I do know. I know how to say some words in Spanish. I was a product of the public school system, so I know all the bad things to say, which I'm not going to say them. But and then I went to a private school, and they did Spanish classes by video. So it was right before lunch, which meant that the most common word used whenever we got tired of trying to learn Spanish from this like Caucasian lady who was learning it with us and trying to quiz us was we just said almuerzo, Mrs. Barnes, almuerzo. And she's like, "Okay, stop talking about lunch." I'm like, almuerzo. Or she'd be like, say a sentence in Spanish. And when I was in high school Spanish in public school, my teacher was from Spain, and so we learned her way of speaking Spanish. And then when I went to private school, it was Latin American Spanish, which didn't contain certain words that they used a different structure. You guys use a different structure in Latin American for no, it's fine. I appreciate you talking to me. They use a different like sentence structure, or not a sentence structure, but they like I think it's like vosotros was versus ustedes, and so my sentence was yo tengo los gatos en mis pantalones, or it's what is it? Su necesite desodorante. We actually visited Guadalajara once, and we were trying to sing a song, and the song had it said the phrase "Diaria hay flores al pasar" or something like that, and we were pronouncing it wrong. We were saying diarrhea, so that was a thing. But it was great though, because I didn't really know much Spanish at all, but and the kids, the people that we were with, they, you know, most of them didn't speak English, but they were also very hospitable. But it was definitely interesting. So I don't really know much Spanish. I wish I did. I've considered doing Rosetta Stone. At one time I even did like a bootleg version, and it didn't really work. So I was like, okay, you know, so Google Translate helps sometimes. But no, don't stop asking questions. This is what I'm here for. I'm enjoying myself just sitting here and talking. And anyway, you asking me questions, I learned stuff. Like, I had no idea how to donate bits. Now I do. So please, feel free, keep asking me questions. So let me go ahead. I'm going to get back on Thingiverse while I'm waiting for someone else to talk to me, or you to talk to me. And I'm going to see if there's anything else. Do you think they will make the Spider-Man movie? So there's a report out that Tom Holland said that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are not a part of Spider-Man 3. Which I can believe him, but I really think of it this way. I don't think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will, but I think that the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker and the Andrew Garfield Peter Parker will be involved in the next Spider-Man 3. I cannot imagine that they're going to bring Alfred Molina from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and they're going to bring Jamie Foxx, but not bring those Spider-Men. And regardless of that, I'm really just hoping they bring a Miles Morales in. And even if they bring him in as a little kid right now, which really, because of Endgame, we could have a full-grown, you know, Miles Morales that's almost Peter Parker's age at this point. Because if you remember, what was it? Danny Glover. Not Danny Glover. What's his name? Oh, I'm just going to call him by his music name, Childish Gambino. Donald Glover. When he played, so I believe he played, was it not Creeper? Dang it, I'm forgetting. So Donald Glover was was a character. He basically had a nephew that lived in Queens, and basically he's the what's the name of the guy? I forgot. Oh, jeez, now I gotta figure it out. Google. Prowler. He was the Prowler. He was played by his name is Aaron Davis, which was the character that Donald Glover played in Homecoming. When he was trying to get information, he had webbed him to the car door or the car trunk. And so I would love it if we got like a Miles Morales that's, you know, 5 years older. If we get, you know, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, I think it would work. And I think it would open opportunities, because I think the biggest thing that I want from Spider-Man 3 is, you know, Venom was an okay success. It did well. You know, we've got Morbius that's coming, and I think that would be okay. You know, let's not judge Jared Leto on the original Joker acting. You do what you got with it. But I would love to see there be a way that the Tom Holland or even the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield get the ability to continue on as Spider-Man in the alternate universes where they're fighting against Venom and Morbius and Carnage and stuff like that. I think that would be a great way to a gateway to allow. And I think Spider-Man Far From Home opened that door when Mysterio basically said he was from this is Earth 616, I'm from this Earth, this other Earth or this other dimension. So I think it gives us the opportunity to actually have that, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, because at this point and after Endgame and stuff, the sky is the limit, and I think Marvel's really had this year to stew on what they wanted to do, and I think they took the opportunity that hiatus, that rest, to really come up with some great ideas, and so I'm looking forward to it. And expect Peter Parker to have a different hairstyle in this thing, because he's been filming Spider-Man 3 coming right off of his filming of the Uncharted movie, and because he normally has that bushy hair on the sides, they actually wanted to put prosthetics on him, well, wigs, like for the side, because he's got long hair on the top, but he's got short hair on the sides, and Tom Holland refused. He said, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting those things on. So Peter Parker is going to look a little bit different for us this time. What do you think a movie would look like where the Spider-Man actors are together? So that is a good question. Now we know that there is rumor that after WandaVision, Wanda will be in Doctor Strange. There's also mentioned that Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man 3. So I could almost... Okay, my ideal is that we have that whole cartoon Spider-Man where they're pointing, like, who are you? I'm Spider-Man. No, I'm Spider-Man. No, I'm Spider-Man. But what I think ultimately is going to happen is they're going to get transported wherever, and they either are going to have to deal with something multiverse wise where Doctor Strange brings all of these Spider-Mans together and they're interacting, but they're not in, let's say, the MCU world. What is Jura? Do you like to Jura? Are you talking about my coffee maker in the back? Explain the Jura comment. I'll keep talking. Oh, Jurassic Park. Yes. Yes, I'm a Jurassic Park fan as well. My kid is a bigger fan at the moment. That's what I've heard. I have heard that possibly WandaVision, Doctor Strange will appear. I'm also hoping that we're going to get a Reed Richards with Mr. Fantastic. But I think that what they're going to do is they're going to have to, like, he's going to need their help, and it's good. I think whatever happens in WandaVision might fraction the world, and so that's where we get that multiverse of madness. And I think that he's going to have to employ the Spider-Man to help out. So we may get a Spider-Man movie where he's running from the law, and that's what's happening. Or we could get a Spider-Man that has just, he's just finishing Spider-Man 3, and then he gets called on by Stephen Strange, and then you start seeing the 3 Spider-Man at the end of the movie, which leads into Multiverse of Madness. And the Jurassic Park, yes, I'm a huge fan of Jurassic Park. I have, my family all have matching shirts. I have all the movies in multiple formats, including Laserdisc, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, of course digital. I don't have a lot of like collectibles because I've kind of stuck with doing Marvel because that's my thing. But my kid has probably got the most expansive Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. He has some of my original toys from when I was a kid. And there's some that I still have to find, but I love the crap out of that stuff. And I love the books. And I almost wish that there would have been a time that we could have had a Jurassic Park movie that was like the books. You guys have been awesome tonight. I've enjoyed talking. Oh yeah. Okay, so here's something I'm going to say first. I'm a huge Marvel fan, but I think that if you cannot be a fan of multiple things, like if you're a Marvel fan, you like DC. Well, that's the only thing I can think of right at the moment. That's like, but like, you can't just like I'm the kind of person like I will tease somebody about like a sports team that I'm not really. I'm a big Red Sox fan, but it's more of like I'm a fair weather fan. I became a Red Sox fan because my buddy got me into it in college, and then they won the World Series. So then, of course, I'm a Red Sox fan. But I love Marvel. I do love DC too. Favorite TV show for the longest time was Smallville. I have the collector's edition of that. I have met some of the actors from Smallville. I love the Dark Knight series, sans The Dark Knight Rises, and that's not because it was a bad movie. I just feel like it wasn't what we were supposed to get. When Heath Ledger died after Dark Knight, while he was doing the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Nolan had said it was going to be a 2-part film. So Dark Knight, and then the third Dark Knight movie was going to be a continuation with Joker, and we never got that. And as great as the Dark Knight was, I almost feel like the third Dark Knight movie would have been even better. Okay. Yes and no to the Suicide Squad. If I'm going to turn my brain off and watch something, yes, I have watched it multiple times for specific reasons. I love Harley Quinn in it. I was okay with Will Smith. Boomerang, Captain Boomerang, I really liked him in the film. And I like Killer Croc because Killer Croc just had some good attitude. The Huntress I thought was poorly executed. I did not really like how Will Smith's character was. He had some good moments. I actually prefer the extended version better than the theatrical version, just because even though I'm not a big fan of the Jared Leto Joker, the extra scenes that show her interaction with Joker I thought were awesome. Specifically the scene where she takes the motorcycle and basically, drops it right in front of his Lamborghini, and he stops her right before, and she pulls a gun out on him and stuff, and ends up shooting the truck driver. I love that whole engagement. So that was pretty cool. What time is it in my country? I am on Eastern Standard Time on the U.S. It is 1:37 a.m. for me. So, yep. But yeah, I liked. Okay, let me be careful with this. I liked Man of Steel. I really did. I was disappointed with Batman v Superman, but I still kind of liked it. I didn't like the theatrical version. This is another version. I liked the Ultimate version, which had a little bit extra stuff. Justice League, I tried really hard to like it. I had somebody talking about the Snyder Cut, and they were referencing scenes from Justice League, and I literally do not remember those scenes because I don't think I was paying attention anytime I really watched it, because I did lose interest. I'm really hoping that the Snyder Cut is actually all it says it's going to be. And people are like, "Whoa, it's only 5 extra." It's not. It's only like 5, 10, 15 minutes of extra footage. Yeah, it's extra footage that was filmed after Snyder had already filmed stuff. So think of it this way: Snyder had gotten like 90% of the film, 80% of the film, 90% of the film done. When he had a traumatic event in his family's life and he had to leave the film. When Joss Whedon came in, he did a complete rewrite, reshot scenes to overdo the scenes that were already filmed, and then he also altered the scenes that Snyder had filmed that he was using. So basically, Joss Whedon's like, Zack Snyder, I don't care, suck it, and went off. But all of that footage that Joss Whedon didn't use is going to be in there. So though we're going to have 5 extra scenes or 5 extra minutes or whatever of film that was shot after the fact when we finally were told we were getting a Snyder cut, all of the footage beforehand is coming into this. And I think it's like a 3 or 4. Let me see here. Justice League Snyder cut is, let's see here. I'm trying to see if they have a runtime for this. Runtime. The Snyder got 240 minutes. So an hour, 60 minutes. So that's 4 hours of film for like a 2-hour film, I think it was. So there's like 2 extra hours in this movie. So by like all means, this is going to be pretty awesome. I think. I think it's going to be good. I'm really hoping for, I'm hoping for a pretty good film here. My favorite movie is Black Panther. What do you think? I think it was a great film. I think it was a great film. I actually have a Black Panther figure. I have the Hasbro Legends Black Panther helmet on my wall. I think Chadwick Boseman was a fantastic. But here's the thing. My favorite character in the Black Panther movie. Actually, I had 2. Let's see here. I always butcher the name when I don't think about it for a while. Black Panther. I know I'm gonna. I have been literally doing pictures for all of these characters. M'Baku. Winston Duke played M'Baku in the film, and I think he was fantastic. I loved him with the white gorilla. In the comic books, you kind of don't like them because they basically kill endangered white gorillas, and they eat them. That's how they get their power. But I like that character. I wasn't as big of a fan with Killmonger, just because I feel like, again, it's like recipe. You get a villain that could flesh out more, and you kill him. But love Chadwick Boseman in the film. I think he's always in all of his films, he's always brought a great power with it. And just the fact that he was literally on stage 4 cancer and doing that film just tells you how amazing he was as an actor. And I think I'm glad that Marvel's not recasting him. I think it's a shame because there's a lot of great stories with T'Challa we could have had. But at the same time, Chadwick Boseman, it's the same idea of when people keep talking, well, they'll just recast Tony Stark later down the road. I hope they don't. I think Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Chris Evans is Captain America. Now, we have other versions of Captain America, like Sam Wilson and stuff like that. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But I don't think we should take that over. And I think this is a great opportunity because I think that Shuri is perfect to be the next Black Panther. And in the comic books, she is a extremely vicious individual. So I think that would be great. Mlock, thank you so much for being on the stream. Thank you for asking questions and talking with me. It's really been a pleasure. Again, thank you so much. Have a good night, and hopefully I'll catch you later. And again, I'll see you on TikTok too. So thanks a lot. But yeah, I definitely want to see more with Shuri doing stuff. So anybody else in the stream? Who else wants to ask a question? I'm just going to be on here looking up stuff, and I still haven't figured out a single thing that I want to do on my 3D printer right now. So I am kind of at a loss. Pretzel Rocks keeps posting what the song is next that's playing, and it's throwing me off because I keep thinking it's somebody in the stream that's asking me a question. So I saw a TikTok not too long ago about these avocado boats that you can, like, it's a little boat that floats with a hole in the bottom, and you can literally put the avocado in the back and it will just sit at the top of a fish aquarium. If I still had an aquarium, that would be the way. I guess that would be the next thing I could do. But I imagine that, I don't know, would an avocado cost something that would be dangerous for the fish? Some of the weirdest stuff on Thingiverse. It's like you don't like holding your batteries in a drawer or in the container. Here, let's give you a what you call it? A battery rack. And then they have things like the classic, the SNES. It's a wall mount for your SNES, which I don't have my SNES anymore. I don't even know what happened to my SNES. Modular butterfly knife. You can literally make 3D printed butterfly knives. Those have got to be banned in England. Oh, there's a thing on here. You can make snow ducks. Instead of making snowballs, you can make snow ducks. Ooh. Anybody want to talk? Please feel free to say something. Chat. So funny. After I was asked about donating bits, I almost thought I was going to start seeing bits being donated. I was like, oh, well. Marvel coasters. There's some 3D printed Pokemon on here. There is a Spaceballs license. I just spit on myself. A Spaceballs license plate frame. Oh, that kind of looks cool. There's a skull candle holder. The skull looks cool. Alright, I'm going to download that file just for the fun of it. Okay, so let me move this real quick. I can't see what you're doing. Before watching in-game, did you hear spoilers? No, I did not. I did everything I could not to. You know what? It's funny. I even have a book with my original predictions for Endgame. Let's see. Hold on a second. I had a book. I actually sat down and wrote my predictions. It's funny though, I can't find the book. I have all these extra ones. So what I did was right after Infinity War, I sat down and I wrote on a book what my predictions for Endgame were. And I actually wrote it on a Marvel Studios book. I actually have a couple of these. I have 3 to be exact. When they were on clearance at the Disney store right after Infinity War, and I bought what they had left. And I love these. I just don't use them very often. Yeah, I wasn't off too much. I figured that Endgame was kind of like the quintessential, like it was going to be the amalgamation of all of the things that they've kind of been building up for. Like I thought that, at some point, I thought what they were going to do is they were going to rebuild Mjolnir. And then that's how, Captain America got it, but it wasn't, but that's fine. Let's see here. I already followed you on TikTok. Now I'm leaving. All right. Well, thank you for following. Okay, so did I prefer Infinity War or Endgame? As for rewatchability, I believe Infinity War is a much more rewatchable movie, and so I favor it in that way, because there's much more action and there's more going on. If you really think about it, Endgame is a slow burn with kind of like 25, 30 minutes of actual action, because literally after the initial fight with Thanos, after he's retired and stuff, and Thor cuts his head off, 5 years later, it feels like that's how long the movie went before we actually saw action again, because there was too much talking and planning to do the heist. And then the heist was fun. I think that was good, but it was a good throwback. I think the cool part about Endgame was it didn't have to be a full action-packed movie throughout the whole thing, because literally having them sitting around talking and like rehashing what they've done for the last 10 years was by far amazing. Yep, bye and good luck. Thank you. You have a good evening. Let's see here. I hope you can see another stream as well. Yeah, I think Infinity War is probably my more of a favorite for me. That movie just had all the feels. It had so much going for it. In fact, when I talk about, like when I was talking about WandaVision, like my first thought is it gave me Infinity War chills. When they started reconstituting back in episode 4, coming back from the snap, which I'm going to be honest with you, I love Marvel, but the blip is the dumbest phrase. I think I've heard so many. I preferred Snapchat over that, but anyway. But yeah, I think I like Infinity War a little bit more than Endgame. But I think Endgame, nothing can beat the ending of Endgame. It's so much fun, even with the little continuity issues, like where Scott Lang is working on the van, and then all of a sudden Wasp reappears with the I call them the A team, or not the A team, but the I am forgetting stuff tonight. Not the A team. But Marvel did a group of all women characters, and I'm trying to remember what the name of the A Force. A Force. I think maybe A Force. I'm not gonna look it up. You can prove me wrong. And then there's also a scene where he's supposed to be working on the van, but you see a giant man. And I've heard a rumor that they think that the way they tried to say it was that finally Louise got a costume that he could be Giant Man, but that's a big ploy. Like, so basically the sorcerers opened a portal, handed Louise a suit, and then basically said, you know, you've never really had any fighting training, and obviously you're a big loudmouth, but hey, let's have you go and fight, you know, Thanos' forces and do something that's extremely reckless and dangerous. But it would be a fun idea because Louise always wanted a suit of his own, even if it had no powers, you know, like minimal powers or like no powers. But yeah, I think Infinity War is my favorite of the two. Oh, I got his full name now. I see who's following me on. A lot of you guys are following me on TikTok. I appreciate it. Hey, you know, it's funny. Like, so I'm on here, and it's not for any other purpose, just to kind of like, you know, chat and have fun. I'm not looking to get like TikTok famous or you know, like famous on Twitch. I just like talking to people, and it's a lot of fun, even just like with one or two people, just kind of like chatting with you guys. So I really appreciate it. I will go to sleep. I really liked your stream. It was interesting. Incredible. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And please, you know, if you, with your following, you know, I will be back on again. I'm on late. So, you know, it's only as much fun as you guys are. So thank you for following and watching and just, and talking. And I appreciate that you think I'm cool, because you guys are cool just being here. So, have a good night. And, I'm going to stay on for a little bit and see what else happens. I'm kind of feeling this 3D print of a skull candle holder, but I don't know yet. So if I decide on what I want to print, I'll keep everybody posted. I'm trying to add an extra camera so that I can show a feed of my my 3D printer printing while I'm on chat. So we'll see what we can do. But have a good night. Hopefully I'll catch you later. A Spartan knife block. It literally looks like it's like a stick figure Spartan with like a shield, and you put your knives through it, so it looks like he's just been like attacked, and his shield stopped all of the knives, but they're all going through the shield, which is kind of funny. Hey, if you're on the stream, welcome. Don't hesitate to say hello. I've been telling people, I am just literally on here. I'm on Thingiverse, just kind of figuring out what my next my 3D print project is going to be. And I was talking to people, I was saying on the stream earlier how weird some of the stuff on Thingiverse is. There is literally a TIE fighter that has Thomas's face on it, like Thomas the Train. It's kind of ridiculous. They have a Minecraft ore block server? What? Literally, it's a what? It's got LEDs. It's got like, it looks like a Raspberry Pi. Is that Raspberry? Yep. It's a Raspberry Pi 4. You can do 4 8 gigabytes. And it literally looks like the ore, like a, what is this? Or it looks like an ore block. I do play Fortnite. I do. I occasionally play Fortnite. I'm not the best, but I do play it. In fact, I probably should set up on the schedule a specific day that I'm playing Fortnite. I could actually decide that tonight. Oh. Now and henceforth, days that I'll be playing Fortnite. Oh, we'll go with Monday's my Among Us days. Wednesday will be grounded unless I decide not to do it. You know, Valeria, you have the choice. Pick a day for me. What day of the week should I play Fortnite on stream? Mondays are taken. Wednesdays are taken. Technically on the weekends I do Oculus, but like I'm not doing it right now. I'm just chatting. I think I like the weekends to just chat. And then so basically Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday nights. I mean, like I'll already have done the reaction on like early Friday morning, so there's no reason why I couldn't do it on Friday night as well. So you pick. Or don't pick. It's up to you. They've got, ooh, a Pokeball Switch cartridge holder. That looks fun. I think I have enough red filament. I know I've got some white. I don't know how it's going to work out because my white is ABS. It's not PLA. But that's cool. But knowing that if it's a switch, is that is it? Are they using a paper clip? No. I do play Fortnite, and I'm on the what is it called, the battle pass or whatever, or the crew thing. So I've got like, I've been only on the crew for like 2 months, but I've got the Mandalorian thing. But I'm a little bit okay. So I'm a little bit salty with Fortnite right now because I have done the challenges for the shoulder pads, the Beskar shoulder pads for the Mandalorian. So I've got the helmet and the shoulder pads are Beskar. And then I saw that they had the T800 and the Sarah Connor. So I used my Fortnite credits to my V-Bucks to purchase the Terminator skin. And I used that for a couple games. And when I decided I was tired of that and I wanted to go back to the Mandalorian, my shoulder pads are not Beskar anymore, and it's driving me nuts. I've already put in like a support request for it, but you know the Epic Games like support thing is not very helpful. So I'm just gonna have to eat it for a little bit, and it's taking forever for me to collect gold. Of course, I don't play very much, so it makes sense. And then like the Predator thing, like I can't ever get to the terrain to actually kill the Predator. Like I've encountered the Predator once and he killed me. So like that's a thing, but I've never had a chance to kill him. And of course, when you do crews, everybody else doesn't want to do it. They want to go off and actually kill other people. It's like I need to actually get like a team of like friends or people to join up with me and actually do. Oh, I'm on stream. I could Twitch with some people, and we could take them on. You know, it's sad when things come together in your head. There's a cutaway lights. Ooh. I don't need to make a lightsaber right now. I actually had one of the original master replica lightsabers, and I gave it to a cousin because he's a much bigger Star Wars fan. I'm a fair weather Star Wars fan, I'm really into the Mandalorian, but um, he appreciated it, and he was like a kid. Oh my goodness, so I have it like sitting up on my cabinets. My whole basement is like my domain. It's like my man cave. And he's never seen it. He's been down in my basement, but he's never seen it. He's seen everything else but my lightsaber. And so for Christmas I was going to give it to him, and I checked with my son, because if my kid didn't want it, it was going to go to my cousin. And so I asked my son, and he goes, yeah, let's give it to him. And so I went down and we cleaned it up. All right, well, thank you so much. Hey, let's see here. Absolutely. I will be on here. You just have to find me. If you're following me, then you'll know when I'm on. And as always, thank you for talking to me, and have a good night. I'll be going to sleep at some point. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what I'm going to do for a 3D project. I'd like to put something on the print before I go to bed. And I'm just nothing is tickling that fancy right now. I build some of the weirdest stuff. Retro rocket, that's kind of cool looking. A quick draw crossbow pistol with rubber bands. And what does it shoot? A single shot crossbow pistol with special holster that allows the pistol to be cocked while drawing it from the hip. Oh, that's interesting. Making it ready to fire as soon as it's free. This improves safety when carrying, as a bow is under no tension until drawn, yet it can be chambered with a bolt and fired in seconds. This version 1 prototype function. What does it shoot? It uses a 6mm diameter bolts I found here. Ooh, this thing actually shoots real darts. 50 to 80 pound crossbow. What? How is that? What? This sucker looks cool too. I want to see the holster. What the what? And it's literally rubber bands. With that much pressure to be able to shoot a dart, I'd have to print this on ABS if I did it. Might as well download it. It's free. So let's go to I have a folder that's literally all it is 3D print files I've downloaded off the internet. There we go. And then I need to open up my downloads folder. I'm going to just drop over the zip files. So the crossbow goes in, and the skull goes in, and there they are. Cool. Maybe I'll do a crossbow. I don't know why. Oh, there's a burning in a chair. Cracks me up. The other thing I want to do is I want to do like a book nook. It's like if you think of your bookshelf and with all of your books, then there's this like little gap that you go in, like this like tiny little world. And I saw one on, I think it was Pinterest, where when you looked in the book nook, it was like the gates of Jurassic Park with the T-Rex coming out, and I thought that was amazing. But I don't really have a bookshelf like per se in the movie room, or the man cave. I do have my Blu-ray shelf, which I'm thinking maybe I'd put it there, but I don't know. Because my kid also has this tendency of pulling all of my movies out of the case and putting them on the floor and going through them. So, have to deal with that. Oh, there's a ticker, like a tally counter, like a type thing. Millennium Falcon is pretty cool, but it's too big for my printer. I have an Ender 3 Pro, and it doesn't. I have to slice things up, and I haven't gotten good about slicing things up yet. So I tend to stick with things that are about the size of my printer until I can get something bigger. Reality. Oh, there's a skin, or there's like a mod that you can put on your Oculus controller that makes it look like a gun. That's all we need. Kid gets shot for playing Oculus with a gun mod. He can't see the police when they're telling him to put the gun down. My eyes are watering. Why are my eyes watering? I'm crying that some of the people left. Not really. Garden plant labels. Interesting. You know what? If I had a better graphics card, I have a GTX 1650 Super. 1650 Super, I think. And it gets the job done. I have no complaints about it. But what was it? I wanted to play Flight Simulator because it was free on Xbox Live, or like the Xbox Live for PC and whatever, and my graphics just don't work for it, so that went out the window. Hello. Oh, yeah, CR10. I can't print that. It was Beskar chestplate for the Mandalorian. Still looking for something here. A carrying handle for your Ender. That could not end well. No, thank you. Let's change up the music a little bit. Let's see. Let's go back to chill bass. Hmm. Hey, hello to whoever just joined the stream. Welcome. Please feel free to drop a comment and ask a question. I am just hanging out, and I'm looking on Thingiverse about seeing what I want to 3D print next. Not seeing anything that's really catching my fancy. Oh, there's a zombie Olaf. That kind of sounds cool. Looking at I have an Ender 3 Pro, so I'm looking at the axis tensioner. I did not realize I could build one. Downloading the files. That'll be a project I'll do later on. And now I've got the file. So don't be quiet. Tell me about yourself. What you doing? What are you thinking? Any questions? Are you a Marvel fan? Are you a DC fan? Whatever it is, let me know. I'm a fan of all things. What you want to talk about? So there's this file on 3D printing. It's like this little boat. I forget what it's called right now. But it's kind of like a good base project to kind of figure out, you know, if everything's calibrated on your Ender. And they've literally got this boat, and it's got Bernie Sanders sitting in the back of it, just with his legs crossed and his hands like this, with the mask on. I know what I need to do. My kid likes dinosaurs. So let's find something dinosaur we can do. Bingo. There's something on here called Flexi Raptors. And they print all in one. Oh, we're doing it. We're building raptors. And we're going to build a bunch of them. Where's my... Haha. My SD card. Okay. This is what we're doing. I'm going to build a crap load of these raptors. What am I doing? Okay, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna open it, and I'm going to extract. Cool. Okay. And then let's see, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Funny, I'm not. Oh. I was sitting here like, why don't I hear anything? Okay, so my microphone, my headset volume was down. Okay, so let's go back to 3D print files, Flexiraptor. What's this? This is just pretty. Oh, it's got a raptor with a hat on. That is too cool. Let's see. Why do they have multiple? Okay. Yep, we're doing this. Okay, so. Okay, so let's pull up Creality. A Creality slicer. Okay. We're gonna make a couple of these. How long does it take? $3 hours. Let's see if I can rotate them a little bit so they're not so weird looking. Actually, we're going to 25% filled, isn't it? Density. All right, and we are looking at a print time of 8 hours and 6 minutes. That is not bad. That's only 55 grams, which, what color do I have? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I've got my thing in. Let me go ahead and, where's Disc M? Where have you been? Come on now. Let's try it different. Okay. Okay. We're going to format. Where'd it go? Oh, I just turned it on. Interesting. Oh, you know what? What the world? I'm having problems with my SD card reader. Figures. Let's see. Let's try one of the lower ones. Yes. Complete. Close. File. Save G-code. Save. Okay. All right, hold on just a second. I'm going to go ahead and print this out. Let's get it going. All right. We are good to go. We are printing. Fun. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I had a good time. I'm glad for those who joined on earlier on, and I will catch you all tomorrow.